Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir, and give thanks to you.
Can you introduce yourself for the French people? Where you born and grew?
My name is Andrew Adrian Brown, my entertainer name is Droop Lion. You know what I mean? I was born in St. Mary. St. Mary in a place in Jamaica, that's the countryside. But I grew up within Kingston.
Yeah, okay.
Because after born in St. Mary, 9 months after my mother died, so I got to move to Kingston with my family members, like my aunts and my uncle.
How did you choose your artist name?
I have never named myself. From my born, I have never given myself a name still. It's always ones try to put a name to the character, I tell you, they call me Droopy from my youth because knowing that I grew as an orphan, now I have no mother nor growing around my father, I always be silent, and do a lot of observing. So people think that I'm not vibrant. Many people will see I and feel like I'm just slight, I'm just simple like that, But then I have an energy, which is unseen.
Okay.
When
did you start to sing?
Singing started
professionally
singing started about like 1998. When I first went to a professional studio meeting professionals, musicians and professional producers. Because I was introduced to studio by one of Jamaica's greatest musicians, a man called Sir X Small. He's also a music teacher at the end of the School of Art, And he brought me to studio, introduced me to a man called Mallory Williams. And then Mallory was one of Jamaica's greatest as a vocalist who sing a song called Boom Shiboom. And from there, I start to learn the professional steps because it is Mallory who first introduced professional music works to I and I. You know what I mean? Where it took me 3 weeks to voice a song.
Okay. Which are your best influences in the music?
What's righteousness? Righteousness is my best influence in the music, but if you're talking about people and individual people, you know what I mean? I go have to tell us all the greats, because knowing that I am youth, I not just live by our own understanding or our own energy or strength, I merge myself amongst the other them many times to see the light and find the way to go forward. Well, a reggae I represent, and I represent roots rock reggae to heights. You know what I mean? It's no doubt. Albert Griffiths, the whole Gladiators, are some people where, embrace I and I firmness to heights. You have like Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and the Toots and the Meters and many other great ones who stand up for the right of the music. Because I just decided still now.
Okay, now I want to talk about Gladiators. Is it your first time in France?
It's not our first time in France. But it's our first time in France with Gladiators.
Okay.
I have been in France with Cape Breton already.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay. It's not such a long time neither. It's last year,
I want to know how the things come with the Gladiators. How you
you want to know how the whole chemistry happen? Because it's a chemistry, I don't know where I been sitting and thinking about say I don't want to merge myself with the Gladiators. After putting in I work still as an individual as Droop Lion, you know what I mean? The work kind of grew to a height which part people actually start to see us. You know what I mean? well, it started from my management team,
Mm-hmm.
which is Free People Entertainment, you know. With the masterman named Cabell Stevenson, you know. It's like, they are the one who I saw sight up the whole vision, seeing that I could actually bring out the soda. But to tell you the truth, Gladiators in my blood, you know. Because
Yes.
I go and tell you, I is a nephew of a former founder of Gladiators, you know.
Yeah.
A foundation member, you know, which is David Webber. You know what I mean? Because it is David Webber and Albert Griffiths who formed this group, you know.
Yeah.
From way back in the 60s, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And David Webber is my uncle, you know,
Yeah.
blood family, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But even knowing that he used to represent for the Gladiators, I have never have it in mind. Because probably I never really see the magic there. You know, I never really see the pharma chemistry there. But it's always good to have bright people around. You know, because after being in a France with Caperton, you know, I was in the rims.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When the manager for me that come, which is Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Come forward and ask I, what would I think, what I think about, you know?
You know the Gladiators from the beginning,
Yeah.
in fact.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that one day you perform with them?
I tell you, I have never imagined it yet.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I not even used to sing a Gladiator song. It's only one Gladiator song I actually used to familiar with. You know what I mean? Not saying one but two. I used to familiar with Hello Carol.
Yeah.
You know, and Train to Scaville. You know what I mean? Many you don't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I have never that thing, sir, because I always try embrace myself and I try firm up myself. Even though I know say no man is an island still, I never really a plan for merge myself. But let me tell you the magic. You see, after I put in our works and Gladiator works that is already there and continue to be there, you find out, sir, this is how you build corporations.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you build entity to feed the world with whatsoever you supply.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, you see that big phone company in France called Orange?
Mm-hmm.
Eh?
Mm-hmm.
And then over in America you have a company named Sony.
Mm-hmm.
We sell all type of electronics. Eh? Well, listen what happen now. It's like a merge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you merge two big entities together to make sure that you can serve fans, nation and population with more ease, you know? Mm-hmm. More easy and more unreach. You know what I mean? I can't nothing bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be good, and I still can't nothing bad for the Gladiators because Droop Lion is a brand by itself.
Yeah.
And then Gladiators is a brand by itself. And not a little brand neither, big brand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Brand will go over 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, it only can just shed a brighter light when you have a small entity like Droop Lion come and merge with a Gladiator. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I just platform upon platform will be creating and the music will stay young and vibrant and you know what I mean? And my music will be reaching out there. I as a person will be reaching out there. The Gladiators, you know what I mean? It's just a new way for marketing. Mm-hmm. I don't go up someone start seeing this type of aspect because I want to tell you that's how big the reggae is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I want to know what is your feeling after this show tonight?
A joy, man. A joy, make me know, sir.
What is your feeling during this tour?
It's a whole fantastic feeling throughout the whole tour now because knowing it's the first I go make a venture with the Gladiators. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? On this main stage and you know the people receiving I you know what I mean, and accepting the music so much. It's nothing but just joy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's all just immaculate moments. Mm-hmm. You know, and I just try my best as I blood vessel to bust in my head. You know, I just try to keep my calm and balance. Mm-hmm. As me say, and serve the people them. You know what I mean? I could happy about nothing in the music more than this right now, man. So that's it.
I know that you just finished an album.
Yes, sir.
Gladiators. What is your plan in the future? You think to continue with the Gladiators or to perform yourself alone? What is your plan?
As me tell you, you know, it's a merging going on, you know what I mean? And I just continue, man, continue to do Jarworks, man. A Jarworks, you know, it's bigger than Droop Lion and it's bigger than Gladiator. And from I and I fall in this bracket for bring out the other. I will have to just bring it out. You know what I mean? Because if I out there singing a Jarworks, it's Droop Lion.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't have nothing to be shy away from and talking about getting selfish. You know what I mean? Because Droop Lion will always representing as Droop Lion. You know what I mean? And the Gladiators will always be there because remember that it's an entity that rise without I long time ago. You know?
Okay. The last thing, you have a special message for the French people, French fan.
If me have a special message for them,
for the French fan.
me always tell them things was special, man. Because you find out that the French people, them understand the divineness of reggae to our heights. These people live them life off of this music. You know what I mean? What I will tell French people, man, is just to hand down this music to them younger generation, and the burden is upon I and I, me and them. You know what I mean? To make sure so the younger generation will grow up within the French colony and across the world. You know what I mean? We make sure so we continue to be lovers, protectors of this music and guide it to the right levels.
Give thanks.
Rastafari.
I have all I want. It's good for me. It's good for me.
Yes, sir. And it's good for me too.
Very professional.
Yes.
I love that.
Once again.